All right, so with the touch screen, it sleeps pretty quickly, like a cell phone goes black. To wake it up, you can't, touch it. You have to actually wake it up with a peripheral device. So just do that by lifting up the mouse. Um, and this is just to say be cognizant of what, and then when you wake this up, I use my knuckle actually only because I think it's less likely to have grease deposited onto the screen. So just swipe up. Um, and if you, I'm just saying, be cognizant of what browser you are using. Sometimes I'm going to ask you, what browser are you in? So this is what I mean by that. First, there are 3 users here. Right now it's offering you to sign in as Carol Holloman. But if you click on that, you'll see that you have a couple of options. So you can sign in as guest user for whoever. Lenovo admin is for us. But so if you sign in, you can sign in as Carol Holloman. Wait a minute. I want to show you actually, if you sign in as guest user, once upon a time, in the land far, far away, there was a Lenovo that worked correctly. This is the process of signing in when the user hasn't been signed in for a while. Just wait, stay calm, and wait. So I just want to point out, this user doesn't have Thunderbird because they don't need a permanent mail client like you do. But they can check their email by going to, Firefox. The way you know whether you're signed in is whether your name, the first letter of your name appears, or your first and last. So nobody's signed in here. So that's appropriate for the guest user. Something else to know about the guest user is that whatever they save on here, it's not going to appear in your user. So you're not going to have to sort through their documents. And you're not going to be able to get their documents for them if they, want to come back and print it out, or they have to sign back into their user to the place they saved it. So for instance, there's no screenshots here, but on your user there's a screenshot. So obviously, okay, pictures, it might have been in pictures. Yeah, it usually just appears as a new folder called screenshots. There aren't any here, so that doesn't exist. Anyway, so to sign out, you can leave this open, or if you want to close out very cleanly, you can click the desktop and see what you have open. You can also see it by what's underlined in blue. So your file folder is open and your Firefox. So you can just, if you want to close out cleanly so that the next person has a fresh start, you can just, hit the X's. Oops, I just hit something with my elbow. Oh, it's not letting me close because it has this question it's asking me. Do you want to use Firefox as your default browser? What would Rich say?
Yes.
Okay, so I just hit go ahead with it. I don't know. I'm just gonna skip this. I don't know if it'll do it. This is pretty proprietary. This Windows 10 operating system. So Windows 10 wants you to use its browser. The way to close out of the guest user is to go to People, Users, which is this picture, and sign out. And then so you wake up the screen and you pick a different user. So down here you can pick yourself, put in your 4-digit PIN. Okay, so imagine me asking you, what browser are you in? You can look here and notice that you have 3 different browsers open: Edge, Microsoft Edge, Chrome, and Firefox. And if you want to just clear it out on the desktop, press the desktop icon. And then you can kind of see it more clearly. What am I using? So this is Microsoft Edge. So also the point of this is to say you don't have to sign out, because no other user is going to be able to, when they say open Firefox, here, like this is mail. But if you go here, you're signed in. C means Carol. And your email is going to be accessible to whoever's looking at this. But the benefit of staying signed in is, you know, all the stuff that kind of synchronizes. Sometimes I'll send you a document on Drive that I want you to be able to edit. YouTube will save some of your settings. I don't know, there's different stuff here that there's a benefit to being signed in still, because it takes you back to where you left off. So what was I gonna say about that? Oh yeah, so if you have someone there, like your grandson, who's gonna be using the computer, and you walk away, but you don't want to leave you don't want to close out every single one of your things, because you know you're going to come back and you want to go right to your email or right to whatever it was. Go to the Windows button and just, you can sign out, or you can lock the screen. If you're just going to go out somewhere, just lock the screen. And that essentially does sign you out, because in order to get back to your email, you have to put your secret PIN in. And